Sports of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. And on the line with us this morning is Amy Gaston from the Marion Center School District, is the Director of Education. Is that the correct title, Amy?
That is correct, yes.
Director of Education. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Glad that you're with us here, Amy. This is a busy time of year in a number of ways, and extracurriculars are a big part of a school year, and for these school students, they really become a pretty big deal. And
yes, they are. And I just have to give a shout out to our student fan clubs that attend our events because they make things so fun. In this time of year, I just attended a volleyball game the other evening, and just watching our student fan club and the chants and cheers that they do is very entertaining, and makes us very proud, to be Marion Center. So if you ever can make it to a game at Marion Center, I would encourage you to do so you can, not only check out our sports teams, but also our student fan club that make sure that they attend many of the events.
Do you ever recall having that kind of energy when you were that age?
I do not, no.
It really is something. And they're so darn creative. I know Marion Center for years. They are creative cheerers, creative supporters.
Yes, they certainly are. Like, nothing makes me laugh more at the volleyball game when we overserve the ball and we hear the chant, "Too much mustard." It's very entertaining to watch our students that come to cheer on the students as well as watching the event.
Well, they have a ton of fun at it, and that's the important part. It really is. It's so much fun. So this week is homecoming, right?
Yes, it is. We have some fun things going on this week to get everyone in the building excited for homecoming, which sometimes can create a little chaos at school too. But we, do what we can to make school as fun as it can be, as well as a good learning environment. So this week we've had, yesterday was Pajama Day. We have Twin Day going on today, so we have lots of twins walking around the hallways. Tourist Day tomorrow, and then we're ending out the week with the Green and Gold Day, where we will award our, students that show the most school spirit through the attire that they wear for Green and Gold Day on Friday.
I bet you that's a heck of a competition, the way those guys go at it.
Yes, it can be, for sure.
Well, of course, then there's the homecoming football game. And I don't know, do you still do a dance for homecoming?
We sure do. We have on Friday, before the football game, we start with our homecoming parade on Main Street in Marion Center. So that will be at 5 o'clock. And then the game will be following that, where we will crown our homecoming queen. And if I could just give a shout-out to the members of our homecoming court, we have Easton Cook, Kaylee Elkin, Paul Smith, Abby Smolik, Alec Valia, Miranda Lazier, Lydia Miller, Mason Mantini, Lindsay Fulmer, Evan Reisinger, Maya Lipsy, and Kobe Hankinson on our court this year. So we'll be crowning our queen at halftime at the game that we'll be playing Purchase Line on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have our homecoming dance.
Oh, wow. You do have a very busy time scheduled then. Yeah. Meanwhile, it's not just football. There are other sports going on in the fall at Marion Center, and I know the cross country team is so strong again, and both the boys and the girls. And the Heritage Conference meet should be coming up, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're preparing for that at the end of October. That will be in Reedsville on the 28th. So they are definitely working to prepare for that. Our cross country boys are currently undefeated. And our girls are going into the Heritage Conference just with one loss at this point, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, well, that is a season that is one that we all watch. Of course, the volleyball and the football, fall sports are getting underway or are well underway, and the winter sports guys, well, those folks, they're getting ready to go too. My goodness.
Yes, they absolutely are. They're starting open gym practices for winter sports already.
Wow. Terrific stuff. All right. So all of that is going on. Meanwhile, there are other things happening academically within the school as well. I know that you had an in-service day recently and focused on elementary students in particular.
Yes, we did. We are really focusing hard at the elementary level on what we call the multi-tiered system of supports in both reading and math. And we are still struggling and trying to get past some of the gaps that we have with our students that were caused through COVID and the pandemic and just the inconsistencies with education. And we do have students that are still struggling because of that. So we are working really hard on putting together, intervention programs and also enrichment programs for our students that do need to move ahead. So that was our focus at our last in-service day on this past Friday. We were really looking at our beginning of the year assessments and determining where the students are falling on the national norms with reading and math, and then putting them into groups and really honing in on the skills that they're lacking so that we can get them caught up to where they need to be. So that was definitely our focus, and we have a new reading curriculum that we're working through that is geared toward differentiated instruction and providing those interventions and enrichment opportunities. And we are working on building that into the math curriculum that we have as well to be proactive and try to catch our kids before they start falling behind through the multi-tiered system of supports.
I think one of the interesting things about that is we hear the numbers and we see the results and where you stand and in comparison with other school districts, and we think, well, we'll just check back in with you when it's all over and we get the next set of results and see if you did better or you did worse. But it's much more complicated than that. We have to understand that these are kids that have to be dealt with on an individual basis. Yeah, I know that you constantly assess the programs themselves, whether they're meeting the needs as they are intended to do. And then you're looking at, well, what are some of the ways that we can do things better to address their needs? And all of that comes into a meeting such as the one you had the other day.
Absolutely. And the multi-tiered system of supports is not just looking at intervention. It is looking at our core instruction, too. And really our goal is that 80% of our students respond to our core instruction without needing intervention. So if we are doing assessments and find that not 80% of our students are meeting the grade level standards at that point, then we need to really look at our core and what we're teaching to all students to try to get that level up. Because if we have to provide more than 20% of our students' interventions, then we spread ourselves a little thinner and we can't make as much progress. So it's really a way to look at our core instruction as well as the interventions and the enrichment programs that we offer.
How you go about your job is interesting to me as well. With what you have just told us, I can see somebody sitting in an office and looking at data on a computer and going a little bit crazy and needing to get out and get some air. But it's really about meeting the students and learning their needs and what's going on in their lives and their education, meeting with the faculty members and seeing how we can help them to get to the finish line and win the race. There are a lot of things that go into what you do, aren't there?
There absolutely are, yes. And I wear multiple hats across the district, too, so it's not just looking at curriculum and the data from our assessments, but we also cover special education in the Director of Education office. And that's a big hat to wear as well. And, we have increasing challenges with behaviors and, students struggling with mental health issues. And that's been a challenge in the district as well. And just getting out into the classrooms and finding, things that are working for everyone. So that our students can gain skills to be successful in life. And, we're also looking at programs for social emotional learning, and sometimes that's kind of a buzzword and gets people riled up, but we are working through some programs called Paths at the elementary and Character Strong in grades 6 through 8 that are really focusing on, building strong character for our students and focusing on just developing responsibility and good citizenship, respect for others. And one of the major focuses of our Character Strong program is developing school pride, and we are strong with that at Marion Center, and we take pride in our school, and we're really looking at programs through the Character Strong to help students enjoy coming to school and feel welcome here at Marion Center. Some of our 7th grade students are looking at developing a welcome program for new students that enroll in the district. So when they come here, right off the bat, they can feel comfortable and make friendships. And those are the kind of things that we're looking at through our social emotional learning curriculums.
Wow, that's cool, because the students who are in 7th grade, they're making a transition in their lives too. So for them to recognize that students who are new to a district or new to a building within a district, that they have certain things that are concerns to them, fears or just unfamiliarity with what they're getting into. That's really cool that they recognize that and that they have a chance to help them. Right.
Yes, we're very excited to hear some of the things that our students are coming up with in order to make school a better place and improve things here for others. So, yeah, it's very exciting.
Terrific stuff going on there at Marion Center. And you're right. If you can identify these problems that they have educationally while they're in the elementary grades, well, that teaches them better habits and maybe gets them more interested in their education, can buy in. It's not that it's too late once you get to the high school level, but the job gets a little bit compounded because what students are being taught is much more complex at the high school level than it is at elementary.
Yes, absolutely. And research shows that students should be reading on grade level by third grade so that they can feel successful throughout their high school career. So we're really honing in on our primary students to make sure by third grade our students are where they need to be with their reading skills, because if not, they tend to struggle throughout high school if they can't meet those standards at the elementary school.
She is Amy Gaston, the Director of Education at the Marion Center School District. Thank you so much for the visit today. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.